was one of the noisiest and most atmospheric venues in the country. And collected here by Niakate, former Forest player. He was here from 2022 to 24. Neat, sharp pass as Sarr sends it forward, and Jackson chases. First touch for Henderson, who launches it away. Second appearance of this season for Henderson in goal for England. Edouard Mendy, the regular for Senegal. With Al Ahly in the Saudi Pro League these days. Started both of the World Cup qualifiers for Senegal in March. Clean sheet in both of them. Quickly onto the attack. England backpedaling rapidly, jabbed away by Colwill. Kane dispossessed, and the shot lacking any real venom from Idrissa Gueye, the Everton midfielder. He was suspended from the round of 16 game at the World Cup against England 3 years ago. 116th cap tonight for him. Out of play off the boot of Lewis Skelly. Thomas Tuchel with a 100% record so far. Only Walter Winterbottom and Sven-Göran Eriksson managed to win each of their first 4 games in charge of England. Here's Niakate. He's got El Hadji Malik Diouf on the near side. A positive start here from Senegal. Idrissa Gueye at the heart of their midfield. This is Koulibaly. Aim towards El Hadji Malik Diouf. There's Pap Chow, the relatively recently installed head coach. Aliou Cissé had been in charge for a number of years. Pap Chow, a former international as a player, went to the World Cup in 2002. Saka. Challenge there from Lamine Camara. Walker being challenged by Sarr. And it'll be Senegal's ball, dominating the early possession. Diouf's throw back into Lamine Camara. Here's Koulibaly. Back with Camara, who plays for Monaco. We saw him in the Champions League this season. Senegal 19th in the FIFA World Rankings, England 4th, well won back by Anthony Gordon. Here's Harry Kane, support arriving, Saka up to the edge of the box, Koulibaly clears. And should be worked away by Crépin Diatta. Miles Lewis Skelly losing out. Iliman Ndiaye, fast-paced, threatening, Jackson with the shot. Blocked by the legs of Henderson. It's a sharp start from Senegal. Iliman Ndiaye giving Conor Gallagher the slip. Picking out Jackson. Struck it well enough, and an important block there made by Henderson, who had a really good season. Just seemed to get better and better the longer it went on for the Palace goalkeeper. It's Niakate who will take the throw. Koulibaly's header. And Sarr up with Henderson. Now Walker, who's been in Italy the second half of the season on loan at Milan from Manchester City. And Levi Colwill will have happy recent memories of the City ground, the Chelsea defender, having scored the only goal of the game here on the final day of the season. Chelsea beating Forest by 1-0 and securing their place in the Champions League next season. Gallagher, Chalobah, Rice. He just came on for the final few minutes of the match on Saturday. Lewis Skelly back into Colwill, and now Gallagher with a little bit of room to pick the pass and find Walker, who in turn brings Bukayo Saka into the play. Just showed a little too much of that to Ismail Assar, who was back helping out. Well, one back, a barrier now for England. Into Gallagher, teed it up, saved by Mendy, breaks loose, Kane's there, 1-0 England. It looked like the chance might have gone, but it just evaded the clutches of Edouard Mendy, and Kane pounced. And after a bright start from Senegal, it's taken England just under 7 minutes to score. Ezza's little pass, Gallagher, the shot from Anthony Gordon, spilt by Mendy. And Kane, of course, in the right place at the right time to snaffle the opportunity. Just got away from Mendy as he made the block from the initial save there. Just got caught underneath his body as he went down. It's England 1, Senegal 0. Just the start that he was hoping for. Fifth international in a row that Harry Kane has scored. It's now 73 England goals in 107 appearances. England's first real attack of the match, resulting in a goal. Well, already 8.5 minutes in, this has been livelier than events in Barcelona on Saturday. As expected, Senegal a completely different proposition. Colwill forward into Ezza. He'll get a free kick there from referee Frappard. Another brilliant season for Harry Kane, not just for England, but for Bayern Munich as well, winners of the Bundesliga this season. He scored 38 goals in 46 matches for Bayern. Not a great ball there from Lewis Skelly. This is Gay into Habib Diarra, and now Diatta. Niakate. Koulibaly sweeping it wide. El Hadji Malik Diouf, decent looking delivery, headed away by Colwill. Gallagher in towards Kane, and Chalobah wisely works it away from the traffic as England look to get it clear of trouble, and Henderson almost getting the ball caught underneath his feet there. A challenge made by Habib Diarra, resulting in the England free kick. Bit wayward. Malik Diouf. Chance to shoot. Not a bad effort as well. Habib Diarra got hold of it. So did Henderson for England. Here comes Rice. There's a nice competitive pace about this one. Open end to end. Anthony Gordon wins a corner. England's first of the evening. That goal from Kane means that he scored in all 4 of Thomas Tuchel's matches in charge. No one else has managed to score in each of the first 4 games of an England manager's reign. Declan Rice to take. Two Chelsea teammates getting a little bit hands-on in opposition here at the moment. Jackson and Chalobah. Still continue their wrestling match under the referee's beady eye. And it comes. Deflection off Colville. Illiman and Jai with a chance to clear. Walker's there. He's heading towards 100 caps now, Kyle Walker, 96 tonight for him. Eze, tracked by Idrissa Gueye. This is Chalobah. Colwell goes long. Gordon prepared to run. Diatta there first. "13 minutes in, and so far very different vibes to Saturday." Gallagher. Chalobah looking for Saka, who was almost away. Could be a busy evening for El Hadji Malik Diouf there, the Slavia Prague player. Had 5 minutes off the bench against the Republic of Ireland in Dublin last Friday, and in from the start in this one. Helped out there by the hard-working figure of Lamine Camara. Habib Diarra. Jackson to collect. Camara. Diouf. Good ball in. Chance. Fine save. Henderson. The header from Ismail Assar. Denied by his Crystal Palace teammate. Henderson in goal for England. Excellent ball in, really good header. With power towards the bottom corner, but Henderson able to get his gloves to it. Camara with the corner. Was Kane back helping out, getting his head on it. Gallagher trying to steal it away. Diouf with a delivery. Glorious ball in. Met by Sarr. Denied by Henderson. It'll be interesting actually with the England goalkeeper situation. Jordan Pickford has been the #1 for a long time now and has kept several clean sheets in a row in recent games. Henderson though has been outstanding this season, and of course James Trafford is in the squad as well. After a really good year with Burnley, as Anthony Gordon is upended by Crepandiata. First yellow card of the match. Goes to the Monaco player for this challenge here. So England with a chance to apply further pressure here. Two Arsenal players either side of the ball here. Mendy on his toes. Saka and Rice either side of the ball. Rice draws it in low and hard, and Senegal with a chance to clear. Idrissa Gueye, it's a long old chase, and Henderson rapidly out of his penalty area, almost to halfway. Saka. Here's Kane. Nicely done. Away from camera, looking for the run of Anthony Gordon. Launched clear by Mendy. In the possession of Diarra and Idrissa Gueye. Niakate. Going longer again, looking for the run made by Habib Diarra. Well, Senegal certainly threatening a couple of times in the opening 19 minutes of this game. Henderson with one save with his left foot, and then a couple of minutes ago the save from the header. Slight misunderstanding there between Declan Rice and Kyle Walker. Here's Koulibaly. Away to Crepandiata. Lamine Camara. Diouf. Just looking to test Henderson with an easy catch for the England goalkeeper, winning his third cap. Played earlier this season in the 3-1 Nations League win away to Finland back in October. Other than that, it's been Jordan Pickford all the way since the Euros last summer. Colwell. First time we've seen Levi Colwell in an England shirt for a little while. He hasn't played since the Greece game at Wembley last October. Trevor Chalobah. Miles Lewis-Skelly was stretching to try and keep it in play. England working hard to win it back. Gallagher instrumental in that. Saka to the near side. Anthony Gordon in space in the box. Saka looks for an opening, still doesn't come. And Senegal with time to reorganise and get plenty back behind the ball. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Colwell forced back. Here's Chalobah. Eza. Colwell into Barry Eza. Midway through the first half. Decent game so far with a good pace about it. Miles Lewis-Skelly back into Colwell. Eza. Lovely composed play. Gallagher away to the far side. Will take the return from Gordon. Chalobah. Levi Colwell. Chalobah there looking for Bukayo Saka, who was predictably very closely marked. Pass falling a little bit short anyway. Diatta back into Habib Diarra of Strasbourg. Habib Diarra, 21-year-old, already their club captain. Set forward by Koulibaly, up towards Jackson, who tries to turn forward, penalised by the referee for the way that he turned into Trevor Chalobah. Senegal's players, as you can see, not very happy with the decision, but it's an England free kick. It's going to be a free kick for a challenge on Colwell. England free kick, which Dean Henderson will take. Should forget, of course, among the substitutes for England tonight, Morgan Gibbs-White on his home ground, hoping to come on to win a fourth England cap tonight in front of the Forest faithful. Koulibaly with this free kick. Back into Diarra, back in with Gay, and here's Niakate. Bit loose there off the boot of Kalidou Koulibaly. Something acknowledged by Senegal's captain. Had to settle for second place in the Saudi Pro League with his Al Hilal team this season, and they were knocked out in the semi-finals of the AFC Champions League Elite as well by the eventual winners, Al Ahly. Way to Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's being hassled by Ndiaye. Kane having quite the tussle with Moussa Niakate. England looking to keep the tempo up. It's with Kane and Aberieza. Chalobah away from Jackson. Here's Saka. Relatively quiet opening 27 minutes from him. Gallagher. Good ball, and now it's with Saka. This is Kyle Walker who sends it in, and at the far post, Anthony Gordon couldn't quite turn it in. England threatening a second goal. Walker's delivery past Aberieza, and just as Anthony Gordon looked to shoot, a really good defensive challenge from Crépin Diatta to take the ball away from him. Crépin Diatta certainly doing more than enough to put Anthony Gordon off there at the far post. This is Koulibaly into Diarra. And now with Moussa Niakate. He's been playing with Lyon in France this season. Wasn't in the matchday squad for the game in Dublin the other day. Here's Diatta. Only half cleared. Here's El Hadji Malik Diouf. Sarr. Back in with Lamine Camara. Koulibaly. Senegal currently second in their World Cup qualifying group, just behind DR Congo by a point. They've got 4 matches still to come, starting in September. There'll be a free kick there for the foul by Colwell. They have already qualified for this year's Cup of Nations. That's in December. Yellow card. Second one of the game. Pak Chow there, the head coach of the Lions of Teranga. He's only been in the job since December. Lamine Camara, considering his options. He's certainly got good attacking options in Senegal's team, even without Sadio Mane. Camara's ball in. Plenty back for England to get it away. Just going to leave this one for Niakate. A long looping throw on him, Niakate. Up in the air off the boot of Bukayo Saka. He then gets half an opportunity to carry it forward. Not for long though. Diouf there to intervene. And retrieve it for Senegal. Henderson into Gallagher. Easy header for Koulibaly. Camara back into Niakate. Challenged by Gallagher. Now Ismaila Sarr sending it forward towards Jackson. So England leading 1-0 with the goal from Harry Kane in the 7th minute. Could and probably should be 2 though. The chance a few minutes ago for Anthony Gordon that he couldn't turn home at the far post. Under pressure from Diatta as the ball came across. Idrissa Gana Gueye. Here comes Diouf, whipping that one in, blocked by Walker. Here's Saka. He'll get a free kick. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Gallagher just dropping a little bit deeper, and Colwill there, sensing the danger. Quick to get rid of it. Koulibaly with the head start. Gordon will follow it in, and Mendy just holding off from going to the ball for a moment, which almost left the door ajar. Header forward in towards Ismaila Sarr. Tracked by Gallagher, who dives into no avail. And the block made by Trevor Chalobah. Gallagher's going to get told off here by referee Frappart for that challenge. He went diving in. And I think, fortunately, didn't make contact. Lamine Camara. That was Iliman and Ndiaye with the ball forward in towards Diarra. As Rice for company. Oh, the bounce fell kindly for England. There'll be a free kick there as Miles Lewis-Skelly goes to ground. Habib Diarra continuing to argue his case there, but the decision not about to be changed. England have never lost in 21 previous matches against African opposition. And 10 minutes before half-time have the lead in this one as well. Ball forward by Gueye, taken by Sarr. This is good play. Lamine Camara sending it into Ndiaye. Looking for an opening. Idrissa Gueye chases, gets the shot away, saved by Henderson. That was a decent effort. And Senegal, as you'd expect, looking sharp and capable as they try to get back on level terms in the latter stages of this first half. Crépin Diatta ready to take the throw. Here's Jackson. Little too much on there for the striker. Ball back from Ndiaye here. Collected by Idrissa Gueye, who got the shot away through a little group of defenders on the edge of the 6-yard box, but couldn't get it past Henderson. 5 attempts on target from Senegal in this first half. And Henderson looking very solid in goal for England. Gallagher's been winning the ball well in midfield as well. Here's a Barrieza. Lewis Skelly into Gallagher. Trevor Chalobah. Yeah, Karte winning that one ahead of Bukayo Saka. Lamine Camara will get the free kick for the challenge by Gallagher. A good tussle between those two in midfield. Jackson and Rice just exchanging a couple of words. This is Ndiaye. Away from Anthony Gordon, he's done well there, Iliman Ndiaye. Conor Gallagher steps in. Diatta up against Eze. Free kick and the ball kicked away as well, so one or two of Senegal's players just getting a little agitated in the latter stages of this first half. So England with the 1-0 lead. Senegal, though, certainly creating opportunities in this first half. And here they come again now. El Hadji Malik Diouf into Ismaila Sarr. Away from Walker, sending it in and tidied up by Declan Rice. Senegal continuing to pose a threat. Kalidou Koulibaly. Idrissa Gueye sending it Jackson's way. He's done well. Ismaila Sarr's there! And Senegal have the equaliser that their play deserves in this first half. And the pocket of Senegalese fans smiling in the late evening sunshine in Nottingham. And it is Ismail Assar who draws them level. But it is far from the first attacking opportunity that they've created in this first half. It's Nicholas Jackson who whipped it over. Walker beaten to it by the pace and the power of Ismail Assar. He was just quicker to pounce as the ball broke loose into the middle from the delivery from Jackson. Able to get to it ahead of Kyle Walker and find the corner of the net. It's England 1, Senegal 1. Ismail Assar's equaliser 5 minutes before half-time. Here's Walker, dispossessed, collected by Jackson. There's a liveliness and a threat about Senegal here. The challenge from Chalobah gets a deflection to carry it out of play. Much to the relief of Kyle Walker there, that attacking play broke down pretty rapidly. Colwell. England going into this match having won 6 matches on the spin in all competitions since they were beaten at home by Greece in the Nations League last October. It's now 14 internationals in a row that England have found the back of the net as well. Here's Saka. Good running by Kyle Walker. The deflection just takes the sting out of the cross, safely into the gloves of Mendy. First time England concede under Thomas Tuchel. And it's come in the 4th match. There'll be a free kick there for the challenge by Walker on El Hadji Malik Diouf, and a yellow card. Been a tough few minutes for Walker there. Jackson's ball coming in and Ismail Assar beating him to it for the equalising goal. Excellent season it's been for Ismail Assar, FA Cup winner at Crystal Palace. Scored a dozen goals this season, including 2 in the FA Cup semi-final win over Aston Villa at Wembley. And it's his goal that brings Senegal level. But it was that slightly slow reaction of Walker in the circumstance that really cost him there against the fleet-footed figure of Sarr. Of course, Walker throughout his career known for how quick he is as well, but Sarr got the better of him on that occasion. See, Gary Birtles there on the back row, second from left. Former star player for Nottingham Forest and their glory years, European Cup winning years, twice winners of the European Cup in the late 1970s under Brian Clough. Near Karte. Less than a minute to the half-time whistle now. Not a great clearance by Kalidou Koulibaly. Anthony Gordon rapidly surrounded by green-shirted Senegalese players. It's away off the boot of Mendy up towards Jackson, won by Chalobah, now with Miles Lewis-Skelly. Chalobah. Closing seconds of the opening half as Kane ventures forward and the referee blows the half-time whistle, much to England's frustration, but half-time it is. Harry Kane having put England ahead in the 7th minute of the game, but an enterprising Senegalese response ultimately leading to an equalising goal 5 minutes before the break from Ismaila Sarr. Not great defending from Kyle Walker in that particular instance, but Sarr got the better of him to secure the equaliser. It's been a lively first half. Half-time at the City Ground. England 1, Senegal 1. No changes made at the break. It's Barrieza who will kick off for England. First match England have played at the City Ground in Nottingham in 84 years. Koulibaly there ahead of Harry Kane. Here's Kyle Walker. And now Saka, who's been well marshalled so far in the game. Debutant Chalobah. Senegal with just one win from their last 7 matches against European nations. They beat Poland 2-1 at the World Cup in Russia in 2018, but in recent years haven't fared so well against European opponents on the whole. Their current unbeaten run does include an excellent 4-2 win over Brazil. This is Gallagher. England looking to win a 7th match in a row. Gallagher. Caldwell was looking for Miles Lewis-Skelly. This is Iliman Ndiaye. A foul on the England fullback. El Hadji Diouf in the technical area there. Once of Liverpool. Away to the far side off the boot of Chalobah. Here's Walker. Colwell collecting. And Lewis-Skelly winning his 3rd cap for England tonight. Into Anthony Gordon, who had a good first half chance to make it 2-0 at the time. Costly miss as England pegged back before the break. Both teams back in action in September in World Cup qualifiers. Miles Lewis-Skelly gets the free kick with a challenge by Ndiaye. Morgan Gibbs-White there, the Nottingham Forest player, hoping to get the opportunity sooner rather than later to get on the pitch and win what will be his 4th England cap. Colwell, closed down by the busy figure of Jackson, who's played well tonight. Ndiaye into Diatta. Nicely done. Challenge made by Lewis-Skelly, free kick. A reminder, Stéphanie Frappart from France is the referee for this one. She was the first female referee to take charge of a game at the Men's World Cup finals. She was one of the referees in Qatar in 2022. Koulibaly will be heading off to the United States pretty rapidly after this, with his Al Hilal team in the Club World Cup. Decent ball in. Oh, that was a really good chance there for Habib Diarra. Senegal threatening a second goal right at the start of the second half here, as Camara played it out wide. El Hadji Malik Diouf, it's not the first time he's put in a terrific ball from the left-hand side. And Habib Diarra sending it over the crossbar, straight out of play off the underside of Anthony Gordon's boot. Well, there's a lot to like about the way Senegal are playing. They're trying to reach the World Cup finals for the 3rd finals in a row, having been to Russia and Qatar. Here's Kane. Bit of space here for Gallagher. Away from Idrissa Gueye. Now with Gordon up against Diatta. This is a bit better from England as Anthony Gordon rolls it across. Walker looking for Saka. Almost breaking free inside the penalty area, Bukayo Saka. Ndiaye, Diatta. Layoff by Habib Diarra. Camara moving the ball around crisply and accurately. Challenged there by Gallagher. No free kick forthcoming from referee Frappart. Here's Saka. Now Declan Rice. Fifteen places in the FIFA World Rankings separate these two nations. England 4th. And Senegal, also a top 20 side, in 19th place in the rankings. Levi Colwell now for England. 5th cap for him this evening. Chalobah. Here's Saka, looking to come into the game more in the second half. Walker. Kane having drifted out wide. Picking out Gordon, now Aberieza into Gallagher. They're being forced further back. Almost an interception made by Jackson there, who was looking very lively. Almost retrieving possession of Levi Colwill. Kane complaining to the referee, as is Declan Rice, but Senegal have the ball. Here's Koulibaly, 91st cap tonight for the 33-year-old. One back by Gallagher, it's done really well. Kane with options left and right, forced back and then fouled by Lamine Camara. Well, England have already had a let-off early in the second half. With the shot from Habib Diarra over the top of the bar. Can they create something at the other? Haven't really threatened Edouard Mendy's goal for some time now. Eze trying to turn. Caught by Diarra. Colwill whipping it forward. Delicious control from Aberieza as he glides across the grass. Walker. Saka. Walker looking for the run of Gallagher, but it's cut out there by Diouf. Niakate into Gay. There's Jackson trying to turn away from Colwill. He'll follow up as well with Henderson well out of his penalty area. Colwill looking a little unsure there as to where he was heading, and the crowd growing a little anxious. Gallagher into Saka with the turn. Can't force the issue. Smothered, outmanoeuvred. Idrissa Gana Gueye gets it clear up towards Jackson, who has Chalobah and Colwill for company. And still it's Nicholas Jackson, who was trying to feed it through there to Habib Diarra. Rice clears. Forward off the boot of Walker, but it's gone out of play. Well, a persistent threat, Nicholas Jackson. Curtis Jones and Morgan Rogers and Morgan Gibbs-White are going to come on, and Morgan Gibbs-White will obviously get the biggest reception of all on his home ground, the Nottingham Forest player. This is Crépin Diatta. Diarra. Challenged by Saka, up against Diouf, who's penalised, colliding there with Kyle Walker. Here come the changes now for England. Anthony Gordon heading off. Morgan Gibbs-White on. It's the biggest cheer of the night, other than the Harry Kane goal from those in the stands. That's what many of them came to see. Morgan Gibbs-White coming on. Curtis Jones will head on. Harry Kane leaving the field. Conor Gallagher as well, and Morgan Rogers also on. Jones on for his 5th cap. Rogers his 6th. He'd started the previous 2 before tonight, Morgan Rogers. So triple change made by Thomas Tuchel. First changes of the match. Gordon, Gallagher and Kane, the 3 players going off. So big night for Morgan Gibbs-White. Had the briefest of appearances against Andorra at the weekend, and here he is, Gibbs-White with a little touch into Rogers. Looks to set it up, and Curtis Jones, well, the 3 substitutes combining there with their first touches after having come off the bench. Well, he's looking for something to lift the mood a little bit here, Thomas Tuchel, and Curtis Jones, unfortunately for him, rather got underneath the shot. Which he scored on his debut for England earlier in the season in the 3-0 win in Athens over Greece. Half an hour to go. Niakate, Edouard Mendy. Lewis Skelly back in towards Colwell, who's got Jackson for company. And he's run it out of play as well. So Ivan Toney continues to sit on the bench on his return to the England squad, awaiting a chance to show what he can do in an England shirt once again. Be a disappointment, no doubt, with Harry Kane being taken off by Thomas Tuchel, that Ivan Toney wasn't called up from the bench to head out there. Rogers and Eze, the 2 players furthest forward for England, but it's opened up here and in behind the defence. It's Habib Diarra who sends it across the face of the goal and into the far corner of the net. England's defence completely bypassed there. Habib Diarra puts Senegal ahead. Brilliant play from the 21-year-old. Just watch this here, Kalidou Koulibaly. Completely clear of the England defence. Away from Gibbs-White, away from Lewis Skelly. Into open space. Skill, composure, took his time, picked his spot. It's 2-1 Senegal. Straight through Henderson's legs, and England have plenty to do, and just under half an hour in which to try and do it. It's an excellent passage of play, And El Hadji Diouf leads the applause of the goal scored by Habib Diarra. And this is turning into an excellent performance from the Lions of Teranga. England's defence there, absolutely nowhere. Eza losing out. Diarra, powerful surge, caught there by Declan Rice. Free kick Senegal. Rice there catching him clearly with his elbow. Much to ponder for England's coach. And if the scoreline stays like this, I'm sure he'll be hearing plenty of advice from all corners over the next few days. But here comes Senegal again as Walker hangs on and Chalobah clears, and it's collected by Saka. Well, that bright, fresh start made by England this evening with that early goal in the 7th minute seems a long time ago now. Still just over 25 minutes to go, though, plenty of time. Senegal with the 2 goals and, in general terms, carrying by far the greater threat for the most part of the match. Chalobah looking to try and change things into a Berriese. Gibbs-White denied by Mendy. Brilliantly set up. What a moment that would have been for Morgan Gibbs-White. It's brought the crowd back to life. Eza with the layoff. Was it kept in by Njai? No, it's going to be a throw. Miles Lewis-Skelly quick to take it. Rice moving along. Chalobah. Kyle Walker. Eza. Into Gibbs-White. It's a bit loose, and Di with the chance to bring it clear. The Everton player's done superbly well, and Lewis-Skelly tries to get it off him. Free kick awarded from earlier in the move. There's the ball into Eza. That was just an outstanding bit of skill there from Eza. Brilliant in the tightest of tight spots to set up Morgan Gibbs-White. The flick finds Ndiaye. Now it's with the goal scorer, Habib Diarra. Crépin-Diatta just gets away from him, and in trying to make the recovery challenge, catches the England player, Eza. Well, England have never lost to African opposition before. This is the 22nd time they've faced an African team. Habib Diarra's goal separates the two sides. Header away by Diouf. Here's Rodgers. Eza sending it through. Here's Gibbs-White once more. England carrying a real threat. Bukayo Saka just wide. A touch on the way through. Much better from England. Mendy to the rescue for Senegal. Gibbs-White involved again. Saka bringing the best out of Mendy. It's a good save to keep it at 2-1. Declan Rice to take this corner. Walker's header. Rice is there, giving himself some work to do there. Come off second best, and Lamine Camara was really unlucky, couldn't quite get it through to Jackson. And that's good play from Chalobah. Goodness me, Senegal are almost away there again. 3/4 of the way through the match. Well, 7 clean sheets in 9 matches before tonight for England. But just as against Greece in October, they've conceded 2 at home so far tonight. Ball not quite reaching Eze. He seems to be coming into the game more and more now. He's got a bit more attacking freedom. Camara away to the far side. Free kick conceded by Trevor Chalobah. Noni Madueke is going to come on shortly. Madueke was England's best player on Saturday against Andorra. Still no sign of Ivan Toney getting an opportunity up front. Wonder what's going through Ivan Toney's head as he sits there on the touchline, with Morgan Rogers being preferred as a sort of a false 9 rather than Tuchel going for a replacement striker, having taken off Harry Kane. Sheikh Sabali is going to come on. Ismaila Sarr leaves the field. It was he who equalised in the first half. Sabali on for him. Pape Gueye is going to come on. He plays for Villarreal, and he'll replace Habib Diarra, the other goal scorer. Pape Gueye played 45 minutes against England at the last World Cup. Jude Bellingham and Noni Madueke are going to come on here. Declan Rice, one of those substituted. Bellingham on, Noni Madueke on for Bukayo Saka. So 4 changes there made by 5 changes now made by Thomas Tuchel in the second half, and Bellingham has been dispossessed, and Jackson with a shot, saved by Henderson, behind off Walker. It's a corner, and time again Senegal threaten. Jackson whipping that shot in, and Walker making sure that it didn't fall to Iliman Ndiaye. More pressure for England to deal with. Walker's there to head it clear. Senegal unbeaten in the last 23 matches before tonight in regulation time. Beaten on penalties by Ivory Coast in the Africa Cup of Nations round of 16, right at the start of last year. Looking to extend that this evening. Here's Colwell. Chalobah. into Bellingham. Ball just bouncing off Madueke, who's got it back here, happy to leave it to Bellingham this time. Colwill being tracked by Lamine Camara. Now with Curtis Jones. And here goes Gibbs-White. Jones. Madueke available over on the far side. This is Trevor Chalobah. Now Jones. Looking for Miles Lewis-Skelly, who in turn was close to finding a Berrieza. Here's Eze now for England. Tidied up by Diouf. He had Madueke behind him. Jackson continues to keep a very close watch over Trevor Chalobah at set plays. Watching the pair of them, it's like a rerun of every other set play we've seen in the game. Stephanie Frappa. I was just calling the captain, Kalidou Koulibaly, over. To ask him to just have a little word with Nicholas Jackson as he walks past. Well, obviously didn't quite have the desired effect, as Chalobah tries to give him the slip. 15 minutes to go. Madueke's delivery. Senegal working it away nicely. Looking to counter here. It's precisely what they are going to do. The offside flag goes up as Jackson looks to bring it forward. Here's Colwill. England looking for a mixture of added energy and additional craft and guile to get back in this game. Gibbs-White, nicely controlled. Eze. Koulibaly with a chance to bring it away, intercepted by Jones. Lewis-Skelly. Curtis Jones. It's all looking a little bit messy there in midfield as it's collected here by Lamine Camara, who looked as though he was barged off the ball there, but no free kick forthcoming, and England continue. Walker. Here's Madueke, who's been waiting patiently over on that far touchline. Senegal have had more attempts on goal in this match and twice as many on target as well, 8-4. Turning into a frustrating June international camp for England. Is this going to be a first defeat for their new head coach? Still plenty of time left in the match. Camera forward. Jackson is going to take on Colwill again. England throw. Gibbs-White keen to get on with it. Into Morgan Rogers, who was just caught there by Koulibaly. Could be a free kick. A great season he's had, Morgan Rogers. Breaking into the England team at 22 and making his mark on the Champions League with Aston Villa and the Premier League as well, of course. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Gibbs-White. Curtis Jones. England looking for a little bit of inspiration as beaten to it by Kalidou Koulibaly, a former Chelsea player. The World Cup finals, by the way, start in 1 year and 1 day's time. Rogers chasing into the penalty area, challenged by Moussa Niakhaté. No foul by the former Forest defender, as Rogers tried to burst clear inside the box. We're heading for the last 10 minutes of this one. Well, England scored in the opening 10 minutes of the game. They could do with doing the same in the final 10 minutes here. Otherwise, it will be a famous victory for Senegal, a famous friendly international win. Only the second time these two nations have faced each other. Behind off Jude Bellingham. Change for Senegal. We're going to see Boulaye Dia, who plays for Lazio in Serie A, and he will replace Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson. So Boulaye Dia, he led the attack in Dublin the other night in the 1-1 draw. On to replace Jackson for the final 10 minutes or so of this one. 14 goals he scored for Lazio this season. Koulibaly. Mendy sends it forward. Koulibaly. Idrissa Gueye gets there ahead of Madueke. There's a sharpness and a fluidity about Senegal that has mostly been missing for England. And it wasn't too far away from number 3, and it was the substitute Pape Gueye. Sent forward by Chalobah. Bellingham picks out Noni Madueke. Madueke having a run, sending it in towards Morgan Rogers. England have a corner. Madueke's delivery takes a deflection. Bellingham, 2-2. He's only been on the pitch for a few minutes. Boy, did England need a goal there. And Bellingham whips up the crowd. There's still time for more. And suddenly, renewed hope for England of a victory. Madueke's delivery fell to Jude Bellingham. Quick to control and send it into the back of the net. Jude Bellingham's first England goal since the defeat to Greece in October. Now, what's the issue here? Referee Stephanie Frappard just asking the players to wait. We'll just wait to see what the word is from the VAR room. As the ball comes over, was there a foul there by Colwill? Don't think there was a handball or anything like that there. Colwill, oh, was it a handball off Colwill? Chance excellently taken by Jude Bellingham, but he still has to wait to see whether it's going to be a goal, and the referee is now being asked to go and look, which might not be good news from an English point of view. Strike the arm of Levi Colwill as he got up there, clambering on Crepandiata. She's requesting further space, and the players all trying to crowd round. It's not going to be a goal. It's 2-1. And England are still behind in the closing stages. On VAR review, Jude Bellingham's goal ruled out. Levi Colwill penalised. England with less than 5 minutes to try to get an equaliser. Ah, there's Ivan Toney. We'll get a very late, brief opportunity here today. Senegal now on the attack once more. Sabali sends it over. It was an important header away by Chalobah. Jabbed forward by Curtis Jones. Here's Gibbs-White. Now to play for a Senegal throw, and Thomas Tuchel wants to make a change. And finally, Ivan Toney will get a brief opportunity for 5 minutes or so, maybe a bit less than that. First call-up since the Euro final a year ago. But here comes Senegal, and it's put behind by Kyle Walker. Under pressure there in the nick of time. I think it was Iliman and Ndiaye who was right behind him, racing in, and Walker really had to make sure he got there, and he was able to put it behind for a corner. England feeling hard done by that decision there of handball given against Levi Colwill. The handball deemed deliberate by the officials. England clearly frustrated by that, but 2-1 it stays. Couple of minutes plus added time. Senegal forward again. Gibbs-White chasing. Up against Sheikh Sabali. England a couple of minutes away to losing to African opposition for the first time. Crowd want them to get it forward. Walker. Looking forward, Jude Bellingham. Nice bit of skill by Bellingham, who's then totally outmanoeuvred in midfield. Senegal have it with Lamine Camara. Gets the free kick conceded by Ivan Toney. Headed away by Trevor Chalobah. England free kick. Curtis Jones goes beyond Barrieza. As we hit the 90-minute mark and go into a minimum of 5 additional minutes. Eze back into Jones, Bellingham, Chalobah, now Colwill. Great turn by Gibbs-White, super play. Eze away to Noni Madueke. Madueke, brilliantly done, but then cleared by Lamine Camara. Gibbs-White setting England in motion there. Clock ticking. Won't be many more goal-scoring opportunities. Tidied up well by Diouf, and out for a throw. This is El Hadji Malik Diouf. Well, a year ahead of the World Cup finals, almost to the day. This is not the sort of situation England were hoping for as they look to build for the World Cup finals. Labouring to a 1-0 win against Andorra, and then behind in added time to Senegal at home. Take nothing away from the excellence of much of Senegal's performance tonight, though. Goes from Madueke. It's not a good delivery, though. Falling a bit short. Curtis Jones out hustled. Lamine Camara. Senegal look to break. Camara brings it. Here's a great chance for number 3, and it's taken. Senegal's third goal, scored by Sheikh Sabali. Victory assured. England will lose to African opposition for the first time in their history. And on the night, England well beaten. A night of celebration for Senegal, who have been sharp, crisp and decisive. and England with plenty to ponder and much to do a year ahead of the World Cup. And England still very unhappy about the goal, which was disallowed on video review for handball by Levi Colwill 5 minutes from the end of the 90. But England, in pushing to try and get back in the game, the match was stretched, caught on the break, and the finish was excellent from Sabali, winning his 4th cap tonight. That's his first international goal. And what a night in Nottingham for Senegal, as Pat Chow and his team celebrate. England are going to lose for the first time since Thomas Tuchel took over. And for England, what a miserable June it has been, really. An underwhelming 1-0 victory against Andorra, and now this against Senegal. As the City ground noticeably starts to empty out, Colwill sends it forward, collected by Gibbs-White. Here comes Bellingham. Now Madueke. Into Ivan Toney with a header back across the face of goal. Jones. Here's Jude Bellingham. Into Morgan Rogers. Trying to send it forward. He was trying to pick out Morgan Gibbs-White. Oh, we've had a minimum of 5 additional minutes. Boos ring out around the City ground. Thomas Tuchel